Scrumptious by Erin Shanks. Interior Ashley's room, morning. An alarm rings. We see a close-up of a braces-clad mouth in the midst of a major yawn. We pull out to see that this mouth belongs to Ashley, 13, a gawky girl in the deepest trenches of her awkward phase. She slams the pink furry alarm clock to turn it off. Ashley stumbles out of bed, revealing her bedroom. Her bed is in the middle of the room across from a small closet. On the right side of the bed, there's a sizable window covered with bright pink curtains. Beside the window in the corner is a standing mirror, bordered with sparkly stickers. The room is wallpapered with posters and pictures ripped out of teen magazines. The Jonas Brothers are dominantly on display. Ashley walks up to a calendar hanging on the wall over top the posters. The photo on the calendar is of the Jonas Brothers posing together, fresh-faced and shaggy-haired. The calendar reads October 2007. Every day is marked off the calendar until October 26th. On the October 26th box, Ashley writes dinner date, making sure to put a heart on the I. She gives Calendar Nick a quick peck. She sloppily makes out with Joe and gives Kevin a pat on the head. Interior bathroom, morning. Ashley rigorously brushes her teeth and hooks elastics onto the braces on her top canines and connects them to braces on her bottom molars. While she does this, tiny particles of saliva fly onto the bathroom mirror. She grabs a makeup case and plops it onto the counter. She grabs a jar of foundation and uses her fingers to apply a thick coat onto her face. The foundation is definitely not her shade. It makes her look like a very matte orange. She then takes out a frosty white eyeshadow and applies it across her eyelids, using a tiny sponge applicator. Taking a pencil of black eyeliner, she heavy-handedly draws around her eyes. Ashley quickly applies clumpy mascara and finishes off her look with a thick, sticky coat of pink, glittery lip gloss. She puckers her lips in the mirror and says to herself with pride, doing her best Paris Hilton impression.
Loved it.
Interior Ashley's room, morning. Ashley saunters back into her room and heads for a pile of teen magazines on the floor. She picks one and lays on her stomach, down on the floor, with the magazine open in front of her. She flips to a quiz called How Scrumptious is Your Boy Toy? Ashley uses a sparkly gel pen to circle her answers. When all her answers are completed, she ends up with the result, 110% delectable, hot, meaty hunk, with a picture of a glistening, shirtless teen boy next to it. Ashley does a celebratory dance to congratulate herself on getting the best answer. Ashley opens her closet doors. We see only the top half of her closet, where a sea of colorful clothes are hung up under a shelf, overflowing with purses and accessories. She grabs an armful of clothes and accessories and throws it on the bed. Trying on clothes montage. Ashley steps up to the mirror wearing gauchos and a few bright tank tops layered on top of each other with a statement belt around her hips. She shakes her head. She steps to the mirror again, this time in a cropped vest over top a graphic tee, low-rise jeans, Converse, and a skinny scarf. She rolls her eyes at herself in the mirror. Jumping back in front of the mirror, Ashley has gone full Avril. Plaid skirt, arm warmers, a studded belt, and a pink clip-in extension. She looks herself up and down, letting out a huge sigh of frustration. She rips her pink extension out and throws it at herself in the mirror. Finally, she presents herself in a baby doll dress over top of bright cropped leggings. She looks at herself but doesn't look satisfied with her ensemble until her face lights up. She rushes to her bed and tears apart the piles of clothes and accessories. She stops when she finds the perfect finishing touch, a thick headband with a bow delicately placed off-center. She adorns her head with the headband like it's a crown. End of montage. Ashley takes the pile of rejected clothes and quickly dumps them in the closet. Standing next to her open closet door, she takes out a well-loved pink Motorola Razr flip phone. She opens a phone and turns it around. She holds the phone at a high angle, trying to take pictures of herself. As she does this, we see the pile of clothes in the closet begin to move. At first, the movements are subtle, but they become more aggressive. Ashley analyzes the pictures she has taken and looks displeased.
Ew! Worse than Lindsay's mugshot!
She walks out of frame and we see the pile of clothes is shaking violently now. She returns to frame with a digital camera, which she begins to take more pictures of herself with. Ashley is posing for the camera like she's a top model, when a head emerges from the pile of clothes. The head is attached to Kyle, a teenage boy. He has long, floppy side bangs that sweep across his face, almost uncannily like Joe Jonas. He has a strip of duct tape across his mouth. He rides around in the closet until he shakes off almost all of the clothes covering his body. We see that his wrists are bound behind his back. Kyle makes desperate, muffled noises as he tries to free himself. His noises grab Ashley's attention, but she just nonchalantly kicks the door shut. Ashley hears her mom yell from downstairs.
Ashley, you're gonna be late for school.
Ashley rolls her eyes, sets down the camera, and grabs her backpack from the floor. She leaves the room, slamming the door behind her. Interior Ashley's closet, morning. In the depths of the dark closet, we see Kyle still struggling. He wrestles around, trying to find something to help cut off the ropes tied to his wrists. His face lights up like he's found something, but we don't see what. Interior downstairs, morning. Ashley makes her way down the stairs with backpack in hand. Her mom is waiting at the bottom of the stairs, with her arms crossed impatiently. Once Ashley gets closer, her mother takes a look at her face and shakes her head.
No way. There is no way you're going to school with all that makeup on. Go upstairs and take it off.
You've got to be kidding. I don't even have that much on.
You look like one of those trashy girls from, what's that show called? The mountains. The valley.
Mom, do you mean the hills?
Interior Ashley's closet, morning. Kyle is sawing furiously behind his back. We see behind his back the rope is now on its last threads as he saws it on his studded belt. The threads break and his arms are free. He zealously rips off the duct tape from his mouth and grumbles with pain. We see the duct tape. It has facial hairs stuck to it in the shape of a very pathetic mustache. He slowly pushes the closet door open and sticks his head out. We hear the rumbling of the argument occurring downstairs. He creeps out of the closet and puts his ear up against the bedroom door. Interior downstairs, morning. The battle continues.
You have such a pretty face. I don't know why you want to cover it up.
I can't believe you're doing this to me today. It's so unfair. Ugh.
Well, I know you have your big plans tonight, honey bun, but it's just way too much makeup.
You're such a dinosaur. Anyone wears makeup like this.
Well, then they must look like they did arts and crafts all over their faces too then.
Interior Ashley's room, morning. Kyle moves away from the door and rushes to the window. He opens the curtains and looks out the window. Looking down, he sees a pointy iron fence at the bottom of what would be a 12-foot drop. He opens the window and for a moment considers free-falling down, but shakes his head and walks away. He heads over to the closet and grabs a few flimsy scarves from the pile of discarded accessories. He starts knotting them together end to end. Interior downstairs, morning. Ashley is seething with anger.
Maybe if you weren't such a bitch, I would like you more.
I don't care if you like me or not. I'm your mother. Now go upstairs, wipe that makeup off, and get down here ASAP. You're already late for school, and I will not let you make me late for my brunch.
Ashley stomps her foot.
I hate you!
Ashley's mom holds her ground and shoots her a stern look. Ashley hops and begins to slowly and dramatically stomp up the stairs. Interior, Ashley's room, morning. Kyle holds his long rope made of scarves. He begins to attach it onto the legs of the bed, but he freezes when he hears the footsteps coming up the stairs. Kyle stands in the middle of the room. He looks back and forth from the window to the closet, trying to decide where to hide. As the stomps grow nearer and nearer, Kyle hesitantly decides window. He makes his string bean body flush with the wall and closes the curtains in front of him. The door opens, he holds his breath. Ashley walks over to her nightstand and pulls out a pack of makeup wipes. She walks over to the mirror and uses a wipe to gently take off some of her eyeliner, making sure to leave a little bit intact. From the window that Kyle has left open, a breeze blows in and rustles the curtains. Kyle takes a sharp inhale. He flinches, fearing that he's been caught, but Ashley doesn't seem to notice. When she's finished lightening up her makeup, she returns the makeup wipes to her nightstand. She turns away from the window, and Kyle begins to relax.
I can see your shoes.
We see a pair of black scribbled-on Converse sticking out of the curtains. Looking defeated, Kyle emerges with his hands up. Ashley watches him from across the room, rolling her eyes.
Don't hurt me.
Don't be so dramatic.
Please, just let me go.
Sorry, we have plans, and getting stood up is not so cute.
But I'll scream and your mom will hear me.
How do you think I got you up here? Duh.
Kyle lets out an animalistic cry and starts running towards Ashley. At the last second, Ashley steps out of his way and he runs straight into the wall, squishing his face up against one of the Jonas Brothers posters. He falls flat on his back. His vision starts to go black, but we see Ashley start to drag him.
Mom! I don't think I can go to school today. My dinner date is turning into a lunch.
Kyle goes fully unconscious. Interior Ashley's room, noon. When Kyle comes to, he's on the floor. He realizes he's no longer wearing a shirt. His arms are bound again. Ashley is kneeling in front of him.
Please don't touch my penis. I don't think I'm ready for that emotionally.
Ew, that's disgusting. I won't have sex with you.
She takes the elastics hooked to her braces out of her mouth.
But I will eat you.
In shock, Kyle starts to look around the room. His vision zooms into the calendar that says dinner date. Then he sees the pile of magazines, which all have titles like Young Cannibal and Cannibal Beat. He sees a poster of the Jonas Brothers where Joe has a very distinctive bite mark taken out of his shoulder. He looks back at Ashley. Her mouth is watering.
Oh, shit.
Before he finishes his sentence, Ashley lunges at him, chomping down on his shoulder. He yelps. Once she's taken a sizable chunk out of him, we see her smile. Her braces-clad mouth is now filled with blood. Cut to black.